Hi, welcome back to the Craft Beer Runner. I'm Jack Rosenfeld, your host. Today's our first Zoom call. We have two of my friends, Jacette and Anders, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Jacette?
Hi, everyone. I am Jacette. I am coming in from Seattle, Washington, and today I will be drinking an IPA from Aslan Brewing called Captain Ron.
Right, and Aslan's up in, originally from Bellingham, but they have a Seattle tap room now, right?
They do. Cracking mine open. Anders?
Yeah, I'm Anders Dahl. I'm originally from Denmark, but I live in Los Angeles. I've lived here for most of half my life now. I'm in South LA right now, and I'm drinking Ultra Wires. It's a West Coast IPA from Wisconsin. The brewery is called Wild Mind Artisan Ales. I've never tried them before. It's going to be interesting.
Great. And then since I'm not in Seattle today, I'm a little bit west of Seattle in Gig Harbor. Got something a little more local. It's the Silvercity Brewing Strawberry Vanilla IPA. So I'm probably going to share this with my wife, Kara.
Shiny.
Yeah, it's a shiny label, and let's see what this beer looks like. So Anders, Jacette and I met almost a decade ago in LA through running. We were part of the Southern California Coyotes, and we've gone on many adventures together. And we go annually to Los Olivos to the Born to Run Ultra Extravaganza, I believe is what it's called these days. I did a terrible pour.
So did I.
So lost audio, we're back. All right. Hey, Anders, do you want to cheers the beers for us today?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, here we have a song, a Danish drinking song that's gonna win you a lot of friends. Learn this, and you will never be without friends. Vi skåler med vores venner, og dem som vi kender, og dem som vi ikke kender, dem skåler vi med. Skål!
Skål! That boot is always my favorite.
That's a good beer.
You said that was from Wisconsin?
Yeah.
The boot's not practical, or the beer's not practical?
The boot is not practical. You have to make sure you don't get like the improper flow. You know, there's a whole science to it. Otherwise, you're gonna get a lot of splash, a lot of beer in your face, and also it holds a lot of beer. So unless you're a fast drinker, you fill this up, then oh man, you can probably put a 6-pack in here. I'm sure.
I guess we're gonna have to try that out at Born to Run next time we eventually get down there.
We should try to fill it out.
So, Anders, you want to tell us the lyrics of what that song is and what they mean?
Yeah. So basically, it's translated. It just means we say cheers to the people we know, and the people we don't know, we say cheers for them as well. Vi skåler, skål is like basically skål, right? Vi skåler is like the action of saying cheers. Vi skåler med vores venner, which is friends, and the people we know and the people we don't know. Og dem som vi ikke kender, dem skåler vi med. Basically saying that if we don't know you, we'll still cheer with you. That's what it is. You can translate it directly over, and it sounds like I'm saying dim sum, but I'm not saying dim sum.
When I think of you as a person, I think you are the embodiment of that cheers. Like even just you at Born to Run, you are that like cheers to the people we know and cheers to the people we don't know. And if we don't know you, we're gonna know you.
So last year at Born to Run on the Friday evening, we right after doing that, we had our neighbor who was camping next to us in a truck come up to us. He was drinking, I think, cheap beer.
Tecate. No, yeah, he was drinking like Tecate.
Yeah. And I think you had a glass of water or a bottle of water at the time, Anders, and so he comes up to you and tries to cheers you, and you weren't having that. So, what's your opinion on What's your opinion on cheersing water, Anders?
It's just like, well, there's a lot of countries, a lot of people will have different ideas about how they want to drink. Because I think there's certain places where you have to lock eyes with the people you saying cheers with, and you have to make sure that you have a connection with the people you cheer with. And I kind of made it my own that I don't want to have my glass. If it's in a glass of beer, my drinking device should not touch somebody else's drinking device if they're not drinking alcohol. It doesn't have to be beer, but it can't be water. I mean, I'll look at you and say cheers to you, but it needs to have some kind of alcohol, because it's like, otherwise you just kind of like you're drafting of my drinking. You can't do that. You can't draft. You have to be a part of it.
Jacette, I know.
As long as they're not cheersing you with water.
Exactly. Don't have your
Don't touch my beer with your water.
Just have some kind of spark.
Just I know you're the LaCroix aficionado is a way better term.
I am the sparkling water connoisseur.
But there's nothing bad in them, is there? I mean, they're not. Like, it's just carbonated water, right?
Yeah,
basically.
You're just paying a lot of money for carbonated water.
And they've been around forever, right? Since the 80s or something?
LaCroix?
Yeah. Talk about a brand coming back from the dead, And which is,
I can't tell you. I remember LaCroix at some point when I was younger, but I think sparkling water is an acquired taste because I hated it up until my mid-20s. But I remember having it like a while back and didn't think much of it. But then in my mid-20s, I discovered it, and I can't tell you how. I don't know where. I do know that I discovered sparkling water again and realized I was obsessed. And I am obsessed with sparkling water. There is something in me that has zero control when it comes to sparkling water. I have a soda stream because I am trying to be eco-friendly and not buy cans and save money, which I don't even know if I am. But anyway, something in me like craves sparkling water. And so I don't know where, but LaCroix just, once I found it, I just was obsessed. I have a hat that says LaCroix, and part of that, it was given to me, but yeah.
But that is interesting, because I feel like, I had a soda stream also when I was a kid back in Denmark, it's an old company. Again, SodaStream is something that's become popular again, but it's been around since the 70s.
I did not know that.
Oh, totally. They went through like many different, incarnations basically, but it's always been existing and it's always been in use, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in Denmark, because alcohol and sodas were fairly high tax, I think, so it was not cheaper. It's like, how here you can go to grocery store and Coke is cheaper than milk, or Coke is almost cheaper than water practically. I mean, you can buy a 2-liter soda for like well, you can, right? It's very expensive in Denmark, so people were buying soda streams and the flavorings, the different flavors, and they would use it like that. It was not necessarily because they wanted to save the world. It was because it was cost effective.
I had no idea. I love hearing that. I honestly
you can look at old
advertisements.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
No. I don't know if they changed hands. I think it's an Israeli company and they've been around forever. But I love them as a company. I've been thinking about getting two, because we're running to Trader Joe's to get their sparkling water as well. The sparkling water out of the 1-liter bottles, and it's just like a lot of waste. And
it is. It's so much waste. Much waste, and it's unnecessary. And I haven't tracked my carbon footprint like with my soda stream, so I don't know how much better it is. I'm assuming it's significantly. I just haven't really done it. Right? It's cheaper and better, I'm assuming.
It's the one thing is like with at least with LaCroix and most of the seltzers is with aluminum can, it is the one item that's truly recyclable. Although there is that aluminum shortage going on right now, and and it still is a resource you're using, and also shipping water as opposed to using your municipal water and then fizzing it up, which is
very good point.
There's nothing wrong with municipal water.
Very good point.
And Seattle has clean water. Like, I trust the pipes in Seattle. I drink tap water. I throw my Noon in there. Not sponsored, but
I can go on an entire tangent about water and filtration and tap water. I don't think this is the chat for it, but
so this is the craft beer runner, and we've been talking about we haven't talked about hard seltzer, and we've been talking about hard seltzer and
let's bring it back to beer.
Yeah,
very disappointing.
So let's bring it back to the Born to Run Ultra Extravaganza, and just because ultra running is involved, it also is not involved. It's a weekend of fun, It's a weekend of togetherness,
I think,
community.
ultra drinking is involved a lot.
Yes. And Anders, I believe you're one of the participants in the 0.0 kilometer. How many times have you participated in that?
I think I've done it a couple of times. Enough to earn the shirt and the sticker. You know, the running socks shirt, which always gets a lot of high fives and like cheers when I go running with it, because
In
people
a
really
non-COVID environment, it gets high fives.
Yeah, exactly. From a
Back in
distance.
normal
Distance.
times.
Yeah, normal
Air
times.
five.
Not all normal times.
Air five.
But yeah, that shirt was earned there, and then of course my sticker, which I still have. I haven't put it on anything yet, but yeah, that's a good novel thing. And the funny thing is that event at Born to Run have gotten more and more elaborate over the years. It started just being like you crack it, you drink a beer, and you start standing there, and that's
so
it.
noon on Saturday. Most of the races start on Saturday. There's some that start earlier, but noon on Saturday at the start finish line is the shotgun start, and you crack open your beer and you drink it, and that's the race, right?
Yeah.
It got more
elaborate.
I feel like either last year or the year before, you had to like crawl underneath the tractor, and then you had to like do something else, and I'm just like, yo, this 0.0 is way more intense.
It's work.
Like
it's work.
They're making you work for it. You gotta train for that.
Yeah, they should have like a training run under the tractor.
Yeah, seriously.
So some other events at Born to Run, I don't think you've participated in it yet, the 5 p.m. quiet hour. Anders, did you finally do that last year?
Thing is, I have, I think last year may have been the first time that I arrived early enough to be a part of it. And, you know, usually
You are right. You usually arrive really late the night before.
I get there.
You stumble in and you're putting your crap together while everyone's already trying to sleep. That is right.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, and, you know, like I've actually gone to Born to Run to camp while the the beer mile was happening. Like, so it's just I take my sweet ass time getting up there, you know, from LA. So it's a problem, but not this year. Not this time. I'm gonna be up there for.
So either October or hopefully, definitely May, but hopefully October. One thing I want to do on this channel, and Anders, feel free to join us. I'm going to trick Jacette into doing this. We're going to do a craft beer mile by style. The first one I have planned is sours. They're not going to be fast beer miles, but they're going to be fun beer miles.
I love fun. I am down for fun. Beer miles, I just know I'm going to puke at the end of it. I just know it. And I guess I'm going to just make peace with it. I don't see myself doing a beer mile and not puking.
There's no good ideas. There's fun ideas.
Okay.
Exactly. They're fun. They may be wrong and stupid, but they're is it doable or not? You know,
that's our wheelhouse. Dumb and stupid.
But we have something called a shoey. It's the dumbest idea ever, and we do it. So do you guys have your shoes ready? 2 trail shoes and a road shoe.
This is a trail shoe, and it's an old shoe that I do not wear anymore. But
it's too bad.
I have it only for this purpose.
Like,
but it's a good brand.
A shoey is basically taking a shot out of a shoe for anyone that's smarter than we are. So let's pour a shot. It's beer shot, but let's pour a shot.
I want to call out that this was Anders' idea, and that we all thought he was crazy year 1 and year 2, and no one did a shoey except for like one person besides Anders. So I just want to call it out that we all thought it was crazy, and now we
now it's tradition. Now it's tradition.
So got it.
All right. Pour a shot.
I'm pouring from this glass.
Doesn't have to be a whole beer, but just a shot.
This is a really good beer, by the way. So
all right, on the count of 3, we'll pour and drink.
Oh shit! Okay.
So cheers.
Right, cheers.
1, 2, 3. All right. Here goes nothing.
There was still dirt in that shoe.
Oh, God.
So trail shoes are like not the shoe to do a shoey in.
So
get rocks and debris.
A real shoey
Yeah.
or a
Wow.
traditional shoey involves hard liquor, which would typically clean the dirt of your shoes. So doing it with craft beer is definitely a stupid idea, but I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys always being down for whatever, and that's why you guys are my friends. So I want to wrap things up and ask you guys 4 questions. I'm going to be asking everyone on this channel. So I'll go one question at a time, and Jacette and then Anders give your answers. My answers are in episode 1 that was posted already on the channel. So go back and watch episode 1 with Kevin Klein talking about Northwest Peaks to see my answers to these 4 questions. The first one is, what was your first experience with beer? It doesn't have to be craft beer. It can be cheap American beer. It can be cheap beer in general. It doesn't have to be American beer, but just that.
I don't remember my first experience with beer. I'm sure it's when I was a baby. But the first recollection, that's real life.
In a bottle.
Yeah, like really, for real, not even kidding. But the first, the thing that I actually remember is I started drinking when I was 7 or 8. And I would go to Mexicali with my dad, and he would give me a caguama, which I think translates to a 40. Like, is that what we would call it, a 40? And so he'd give me a 40, which I'm an adult now, and so no one can arrest him, right? Like it's pastime. But that would be our routine, and he would give me a 40, and I'd just be this kid. And so I grew up drinking, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but that's I loved beer since I can remember, and I loved the taste. Luckily, I graduated from what I was drinking then.
Anders?
Growing up in Denmark, we have different laws and different attitudes about drinking, I must say, than we have in America. Absolutely. There's no drinking, but there are drinking laws, but if they exist, nobody follows them, which means that we have this sad record in Denmark of having most binge drinking by teenagers. That's a record, actually. That's like most alcohol consumption.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right. It's like kind of, but I don't know if that was the case when I was growing up, but I remember like you, Jack, that I don't think the first time I tried a beer, I liked it, but you learn fast, right? And we would go as young teenagers, we would go to these parties that were thrown by sports clubs in big halls. They have these big gymnasiums. They're once a month parties, and you're not supposed to drink alcohol, but everybody, because you can buy alcohol without anybody carding you, if you are 12 years old or something, you just buy beer, and you can drink in public as well. So you drink while you're on the train going to the place, and you drink while you're at the train station and at home and in the street. So you have a lot of kids that are just acting horribly, at a very early age. But yeah, that's probably my early recommend. I do remember like having a good time with my friends early on, but I don't have a specific time of anything. And it was all like, when we would drink, we would be drinking Carlsberg, which is of course a big brewery that everybody probably knows. But Carlsberg is a big Danish brewery, and that's what everybody was drinking. Yeah.
Awesome. So next question is, what is your favorite style of beer?
Ooh.
This is not a shock to me, but go ahead, Jacette.
My favorite style of beer is a New England style IPA or a hazy IPA, and sours. So it's one or the other. Those are my favorite go-tos all the time.
Go ahead, Anders. What's your favorite style?
My favorite style, I was thinking about that a little bit. I mean, I do like IPAs. And more specifically, I do like the hazies a lot, but I really am enjoying West Coast IPAs. Those are what I'm leaning for. I mean, I look forward to drinking those, and when I have them, like the way I buy beer now, I buy a lot of singles. I don't buy a lot in 6-packs or 4-packs. So I kind of just to try different breweries, but I'm always excited when I get a West Coast IPA now. And I also like sours a lot. I really do like sours for the same reasons why when we start talking about the seltzers and the hot alcohol and all these things. I mean, because they're really refreshing when it's hot out, and I like fruit beers basically.
So next question is, what is your favorite beer or brewery locally right now? So for Jacette here in Seattle and Anders in Los Angeles.
Oh, so we're doing like local, like in Seattle.
And state of Washington. Anything in the state of Washington. So it could be
Okay.
it could be Aslan.
Okay. Yeah. So Seattle isn't Washington isn't my favorite craft beer scene, but Aslan is one of my favorites, and obviously not super local because it's in Bellingham, but the tap room is in Seattle. But I will say, Jack, I'm actually super grateful. You've turning me into, is it Good Society?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are quickly becoming my favorite local brewery, and I've really enjoyed every beer we've had together. And so I guess I have to say Good Society.
Yeah, my local neighborhood brewery.
I like the name. That's good beer name.
So go ahead, Anders. What are you drinking? What are you liking?
You were asking about the local brewery. I just discovered a brand spanking new brewery called Party Beer Company. Yeah, it's a funny name for brewery, right? But I'm drinking right now is West Coast IPA here. And
is that from them?
They're so new.
Okay.
They're from them. I didn't bring them out here, but they have some other ones where their whole marketing is very millennial, for lack of a better term. But it's like laser cats and like pizzas and stuff like that. You know, these guys actually, this beer is really great. And the thing is, I have very little intel on them because of COVID, they're not open yet. But they had a soft opening 2 weeks ago. I went with Philip, who's also an ultra runner, and we went there, and they were only had curbside assistance, but they have some really nice beers, and they're a startup, a young company in West Adams, in like one of the in a place in Los Angeles that really needs some local participation and money thrown in the area, because it's like, because you tend to have a lot of these breweries downtown and on the water, and then but this place is like, it's right in the heart of Los Angeles, where so it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. But they have really fun marketing. They're very they have a fun marketing.
I love that.
But they make great beer. The beers are great. Yeah, beer is called West Coast IPA. That's the name of it, which is like so big, about as big as it gets, right? But I think I ordered a beer from them. It's called Imperial IPA, and that a cat. They had a cat on the label, dressed like a high society, like a with ruffled shirt or something like that on the label. That's and amazing. I thought that was what it was, but they gave me this beer instead, because I guess they're still figuring out what they're doing, you know, as a brewery.
Yeah,
I love that.
Awesome. And I love that, again, it's supporting a local business. You know, in California has a great beer scene, everything. There's tons of great beer in California, but in doing so, you're still supporting local. And I think, especially right now, I think what COVID's taught all of us is, if we're not supporting local, our local places will not survive.
Yeah, 100%.
Very tough.
Yeah. So speaking of COVID, we haven't been able to travel. I mean, you've been able to at least drive south to your favorite city in the world. What do you like? What's your favorite brewery outside of where you live? So for Jacette, outside of Washington State, where's your favorite brewery? What is your favorite brewery? And Anders, outside of California.
So I couldn't make up my mind about this one. I've got two, and one, I love Great Notion in Portland. I wish I didn't, because I spend a lot of time down there, and I spend a lot of time there, and I spend a lot of money buying cans from there, and luckily they've been distributing, and so
they also are opening 2 tap houses in Seattle.
Yes,
they're opening.
Yes, they are, and I'm
in
so
Georgetown
excited.
And in Ballard,
and they're gonna have so much of my money. So Great Notion is one of my all-time favorites. So that's either number 1, number 2, and I can't decide. And number 2 is Monkish, and I don't know that I've tried a beer from Monkish, which is in Los Angeles, that I haven't liked. And what they get, the thing is that they have perfected the New England style IPAs, and so hazy IPAs are just perfect. And they also do great sours. And so for me, when I think of you can't miss, it's Great Notion, and Monkish in LA are just 2 phenomenal. So West Coast is the best coast, I think. Not obviously, they do beer right. Do beer right.
Actually, I was actually shocked. I
Do
thought you
beer
were going
right.
to say. I thought you were going to say Modern Times.
So Modern Times is
right.
great. It honestly is. I've never had a beer at Modern Times that I didn't like. But the thing is, it has to be at the what is it called? It's called Dank House or something.
The Dank House in LA. Yes.
The Dank House, yeah. And if you go there, if you're going to see in San Diego, but the beer that they bottle, the beer, and I guess that's true for every brewery, right? The beer that you bottle isn't your best beer. It's just the beer that most people are just going to like.
Yeah.
But Modern Times is actually my number 3. And I thought about this really long and hard. But Modern Times is my number 3 that if I had to choose, I'd pick there. So I guess it depends what city I'm in or what state, I guess.
Yeah. So Anders, outside of California, it could be outside of the U.S. if you want. I know you are a man of the world.
Well,
so.
I mean,
Mikkeller is technically outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, they have a lot of, okay, Mikkeller being from Denmark, I'm always happy to see Danish brewers making an impact, or just Danes in general just spreading their wings, because there's only 5.5 million of us, you know, so like, fuck
Which
it.
is less than the state of Washington's population.
It's ridiculous. But I do like, I had a great beer. Now I didn't bring it out. It was something that just came to me is, but I think they call West Coast Brewery. It's in Ventura Brewing. It's in Ventura.
That's outside California. You live in California. What's
yeah, you gotta
California?
go outside of California.
No, yeah, that's true. Okay, so I can't use them, but they had the best beer I've ever had. Okay, so the beer. But okay, so here's a beer brewer that I really like. I love these guys. They call Hoof Brewing, and they are, I don't even know where are these guys located. They're located in.
Okay, I just love that you had like 5 different beers at your reach.
You do understand, he's sitting next to a beer fridge. He has a beer fridge in his backyard.
Is that what it is?
But you need to check out this. The campaigning they're doing, their design. Now, of course, I'm a visual designer, so you get me with your branding, you get me with your marketing. These guys have the most ridiculous campaign. I mean, in a good sense, in a good way. I mean, there you have the designs on the cans and the way they name their beers. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I found out these guys are in North Haven, Connecticut, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and there you go. So Connecticut. And
it's one of the breweries. I rarely check out breweries online, like go to the website, but I actually did it for this brewery because I was so fascinated about the marketing and the cans, because it's just like surreal. I mean, that's the best. It looks like they should just need to make an animated show for like the Comedy Channel, you know, something like that, because it's ridiculous. But I have Jack, sorry, you have to see this too. This is another brewery.
How many beers do you have? And they're all cold.
I like beer.
What is going on here?
This is a collaboration between Stillwater and Evil Twin Brewing, which Evil Twin is joined at the hip from Mikkeller.
I appreciate both of you guys for jumping on this call. It's great seeing both of you. I know I see Jacette more than I see you, Anders, but it's good seeing your face, Anders. So hopefully all you at home are enjoying drinking a beer with us. Put in the comments what beer you're drinking while we're drinking, and hoping you're enjoying happy hour with us. And like this video, please subscribe to the channel. And Anders, please take us out with one more cheers. I have some beer left. I think.
I'll do that. And for that, fuck, I need to change my headgear.
Oh, there we go. There we go. The Viking is on the channel.
Ooh. Love it. Love it.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Vi skåler med vores venner, og dem som vi kender, og dem som vi ikke kender, dem skåler vi med. Skål!
Skål! Love it.